left of me lost in doubt, trying to find a way out. These lies within, they hold me tight. In the dark I lose my fight.
Chapter 1. Moonshine and Permission. Carla Eve woke slowly in her hotel bed, sunlight spilling across tangled sheets and unfamiliar warmth on the pillow beside her. She felt some guilt. She felt a little weird. I'm sure it was a pleasant experience. She knew she had sex, but she didn't fully remember too much after things began. Her head throbbed with the aftershocks of too much moonshine, but her body still hummed. Next to her, Charlie Dahmer lay half awake, one arm draped over his stomach, his face soft with sleep. She turned her head, smirking at the memory of the night before. His hand on the small of her back as they left the bar, his laughter in the hallway, the sharp bite of strawberry moonshine, and the way his mouth silenced all the noise in her head. For the first time in weeks, maybe months, she'd felt like someone was actually listening. Carla was in Norman, Oklahoma, for her postal training. She considered herself lucky. At least here she had decent company, unlike the toxic mess she'd left behind at home. She stretched and winced at the pain in her head. Her memory felt off. Her hotel room was a mess, clothes on the floor, a half-drunk jar of moonshine on the nightstand, and her phone buzzing somewhere under a sweatshirt. She didn't bother to look at it. She already knew who it was. David. He'd been texting her nonstop ever since she stopped replying 2 days ago, not to say anything meaningful, just to check in. "Where are you? Are you okay? Can we talk?" she scoffed. "Talk about what? How you managed to make every conversation about yourself?" David always needed reassurance, always wanted something from her. His attention didn't feel like love, it felt like surveillance. She shifted in bed, the sheets sliding down her bare legs. Charlie stirred and opened one eye, then smiled.
"Well, good morning, Trouble,"
he said, his voice low and gravelly. Carla smiled back.
"Morning."
He leaned over and kissed her bare shoulder.
"That was incredible. I feel fantastic."
She laughed.
That moonshine should be illegal.
I make it taste like candy so people forget it's poison.
He grinned.
Worked, not that I needed it.
She said, running a hand through her hair. Charlie sat up slowly, running a hand down his face.
"Honestly, I don't usually do this either, but you needed a break. You deserve one."
She was about to make a comment on her headache, but she didn't want to look weak in front of him. Carla looked at him for a long moment.
He doesn't get it. He just texts and nags and waits for me to mess up. It's like I'm walking on eggshells around my own husband.
Charlie leaned back on one elbow, watching her.
"Sounds exhausting."
It is. I don't think he's capable of giving me space. He thinks checking in every day is love. It's not. It's control.
She said, getting out of bed and pulling her shirt back over her head.
"He sounds insecure. You deserve someone who trusts you, who lets you breathe,"
Charlie said, without hesitation. She turned to look at him again. God, it felt good to be heard. David would have interrupted by now, or turned it around. But Charlie? He just listened, agreed, affirmed. She said, smirking again.
You know, if I had someone like you back home, I wouldn't be in this mess.
He raised an eyebrow.
"I'm flattered, and I'm just saying if he was taking care of things, you wouldn't have ended up here last night."
She liked that. She liked it a lot. She slid into her jeans, moving slowly.
I've got class in an hour. You should probably get out before someone sees you leaving.
"Or they could see me and be jealous."
She laughed again and tossed him his hoodie. Before he left, they exchanged their Snapchat information. He told her to keep in touch.
"Let me know if your loving husband keeps acting like a baby," he added.
Back in the car later, Carla finally checked her phone. 7 missed texts. "You didn't reply yesterday? I'm getting worried. Are you mad at me?" Just let me know if you're okay. Please? I love you. Did I do something wrong? Talk to me. She rolled her eyes. This is what I mean. I go off to do something for myself for once, and he acts like I've abandoned him. She didn't feel guilty. She felt annoyed. She tossed her phone into the cup holder and turned up the music. It was a bright, clean morning, and the road stretched out in front of her, open and quiet. She felt free. That night, she returned to the bar. Her heart sped up when she saw Charlie. But he wasn't alone. He was chatting with a few guys and a girl who looked already halfway drunk. Carla hesitated near the doorway. She wasn't jealous, she told herself. She didn't care. She just didn't want to come off as needy. Don't be like David. Her phone vibrated again. Another text from her husband. Hope you had a good class today, just checking in. Carla didn't even open it. Instead, she walked past the bar, acting like she hadn't seen Charlie, or cared. On the final day, when she was back in her room, she decided to reach out. Where are you? I was hoping for a hug before I leave tomorrow. He replied an hour later. Had to head out early for work. Sucks. I wanted to see you. Stay in touch, okay? She stared at the message for a while. He had said he'd stay the extra day. Maybe he really did get called in. He was important, just like her. She didn't want to come across clingy, so she typed, "That's okay. Thanks for the wonderful time." She paused, then hit send. There was nothing left for her in this town, not without Charlie. She packed her bags and left early, still riding the high of being wanted, being understood. David would be waiting when she got back, and he would probably start with another list of questions. Where were you? Why didn't you respond? Are we okay? And she'd do what she always did, give him the version of the truth that shut him up the fastest. As she merged onto the highway, her phone buzzed again. Another message from David, probably. She didn't look. She didn't care. He made me do this, she thought. All I ever wanted was to be seen, and Charlie had seen her. That was all the permission she needed. Thoughts from a broken man. When Carla and David first met, it had been magical. There wasn't a man alive who wouldn't have fallen for her back then. Her energy, her fire, she made him feel alive. She'd laughed at his jokes, craved his company, made him believe he was chosen. Every day he fell deeper. She made him feel like the luckiest man in the world. No one else had ever made him feel that way. He remembered their early days, how she'd talked about how no one ever gave her a real chance. He believed her. He was her chance. He remembered how she got angry when they first started dating. He mentioned going to a Halloween party with a lady friend. She said she'd have liked to go with him. That night, her jealousy showed, and that's when he began cutting people off for her. Friends, social events, energy, everything slowly chipped away. He didn't mind. At the time, he would give up the world for her.
Woke up tangled in sheets I don't know. His name tastes like last night's smoke. And though it blows, my head's heavy, heart somewhere in between. Between what I did and what I let him mean. He said, "You're free now, baby, don't you see?" I said, "If I had a good man, I wouldn't be me." Moonshine and permission. It don't take much to blur conviction. I was mad, I was tired. You lit the match and fed the fire. And if love was a vow, I broke it with a grin. Blame it on the bottle, not the man I let in. Yeah, moonshine and permission. That's where my sin begins. He said if I had a better life at home, but even I knew I was too far gone. Moonshine and permission. It don't take much to kill tradition. I was bored, I was bruised, looking for a love that I could use. And if truth was a weight, I poured it thin, drank down the shame and let the lights begin. Yeah, moonshine and permission, that's where I am. To hear, while the real men I married just disappeared. I gave away everything with one little kiss. Now I'm drowning